Rockstar Gang, what up? What up? Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. We are gonna do the pre-draft press conference. We are gonna break it down here shortly. I know that it's on right now. So we are gonna start from the beginning though, because I did not get to. I didn't know we were having this pre-press conference today. I did not know that we were doing this. This was all news to me. So it is what it is. Carolina Panthers pre draft press conference. Hold on a second. What's up?
Hey, did you want anything from Starbucks? Because it's like buy one get one right now.
Yeah, just coffee's fine. You know what I like. So
You want coffee?
yeah. Don't give me the espresso though, because I'll be freaking bouncing off the walls. But maybe that's what I need.
Like the which one do you want? The normal, like the iced coffee, or do you want the espresso?
Well, they had the iced coffee shaken espresso.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Do you
Yeah.
want that, or do you want? Okay.
Yeah, it's like should be like a brown sugar. So
Okay, well, I'm gonna go there first, and I'll just drop it off at the house.
sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you. I love you. Bye. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, this was like last minute, dude. What's up, Panther Raider X? Jay, what's up, Jay? Sneak attack, dude. I mean, this was like I didn't know we were doing this today. I didn't know I was gonna go live today, honestly. I was like gonna take the day off, work on some TikToks for you guys, which I still am now, but where some days, and it's been a busy day, man. I woke up at 6 a.m. this morning, go hit legs, about threw up. It was amazing, but still. All right, hold on, guys. So I know this press conference is going on. I'm gonna let it continue. And then I'm gonna start it from the beginning on here. So if you're just tuning in, I'm gonna be watching this shit from the beginning. Um, I'm gonna be watching this shit from the beginning, and then I'm gonna give you my thoughts on it. So I will have that up here shortly. I'm working on it right now. So if you're just tuning in, make sure you pound the like button. Share the live out. If you haven't already, I need y'all to share the live. I haven't shared it yet. I'm trying to get it out right now. I'm just going to put live right now. Hashtag Carolina Panthers. Hashtag keep pounding. Hashtag NFL. Hashtag NFL draft. Bam. Okay, that's what we're going to rock with. I'm gonna rock with you all night. Do, do, do. Post. We're gonna post that up. We're gonna post that up, bruh. I know I posted up on Twitter, but I'm posted up on here. Hold on, guys. I'm still working on getting this pulled up. Didn't know this was going on, so all of a sudden I had to make a quick thumbnail. I had to hop on here, shut up the stream. Just fucking nuts, man. Absolutely nuts. Because I want to take notes upon this. Like literally, we're gonna watch it together. I'm gonna take notes. Ooh, y'all the fucking shit. Y'all the shit. AJ Brooks, you're the shit, man. AJ Brooks already did the right thing and put it in the fucking Discord. The guy's a man. The guy's a maniac. Zach did it too. Damn, y'all are both good. Thank you. All right. I'm starting it from the beginning, guys. So we're gonna watch it from this standpoint. That might be too that might not be too bad, right? Mm. Okay. That might be a little bit too big. Ooh, that 200 might be perfect, actually.
How's everybody doing?
All right, pause it here. So you can't get bumped. We might not get bumped on here for this. If we get bumped for it, it is what it is. I don't give a fuck.
Good.
Doing good. Hanging in there.
Fantastic. Better if offices were outdoors, though.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, so I'll start off. Obviously want to start off by thanking our scouts just for all their hard work and dedication throughout this process. It's a lot of hours on the road for them, away from their families, in hotels. So I wanted to just, thank them for that, sacrifice and dedication. I think me and Dave are obviously really excited about the direction that we're headed as an organization, as a team. The communication and the alignment that myself, Coach Canales, the scouts, the coaches, the training staff, sports science, it's just been awesome. It's been a lot of fun. So we're really excited about the future. I feel we addressed a lot of needs in free agency. And I think that will, set us up nicely during the draft to, allow us to draft the best player available and just take really good football players that fit what we want from a schematic standpoint, from a culture standpoint, and all those things we talked about in our presser. So we're really excited. Drafts, I wish it was here tomorrow, but it's not. We got to wait another week. So really excited for that, and pass it off to Dave.
Yeah. It's been it's really just been fun doing this with Dan, really take it back to the Senior Bowl, just flying out there together, having dinners, just talking about the roster. At that point, we were still trying to put a staff together and all that. But I just think back to where we are right now, just the hours, the time, the connection, the conversations. And I think one of the coolest things that I saw is as we worked through free agency, coming out of the other side of it with this great feeling like, all right, hey, this takes some pressure off of, gosh, we got to meet all these needs through the draft. Now we get to really just hone in and focus on the guys that are really Panther fit. I've heard that a lot in our building, just as we've been talking about guys. And just going across, just working the hallways, really for me is just trying to be the bridge with the coaching staff, bringing information from the coaching staff to Dan, the two of us talking through it, then him collecting all the information of all the scouts that have been, just like you heard, just on the road, just grinding and doing, this is their high peak season right now, so and I think for me, just taking a step back, he thanked the scouts up and for me too, just the appreciation I have for, this is my second offseason being away from my family, where they're still in Tampa and we're going back and forth to connect, and just thinking about the scouts being on the road. and having to just connect with all their homes. And they're doing it. They love it. They're in the building, and we're doing that connection. And while all that's been happening, we're making a new playbook offensively. We're changing logos. We're changing colors on our PowerPoints, things that we've been working on for years. Going back and forth, talking about scheme, really trying to improve scheme defensively. It's been fantastic to just hear the conversations, hear the higher level conversations happening with some of the players we brought in and the continuity from our defensive staff. And then to see the offensive guys, because we have a collection of guys from Tampa, Seattle, a couple guys that I've known for years, coming together, working through some things. So I feel really grateful to be in a building where it just feels like we're all pulling in the same direction. And I wanted to just say that first and foremost. And I think we're ready to take some questions now.
Dan, you've been here and you were in the room last year. How have you approached this process differently, knowing you're the guy with the final say?
Yeah, I think obviously having final say, it's about collecting everybody's opinions, filtering that, and then making the best decision for the Carolina Panthers. I think from a process standpoint, I think coming up the ranks, you're always, thinking to yourself, okay, how would I do this? And obviously I have my own methods. We've had some really cool studies amongst the scouts, us just talking through guys, comparing guys, placing guys on the board. So it's really been a collaborative effort. Scouts have done a great job with all the background, just kind of getting to know all these guys. So, that's really what it's all about. You watch the tape, but then how are we going to best know this player? So who's going to be coming in our building when and if we draft them next week. So through this process, it's been thorough, and I've been really happy with it.
With that said, how do you weigh maybe I guess we've talked about the dog mentality versus maybe traits or technique? If a guy doesn't have great speed, but he has that will to, or if he doesn't have great technique, but you see a talent base there, how much do you weigh that when you guys go into getting that Panthers fit, I guess?
Yeah, I think, when me and Dave were talking about like the type of player that we want, those passionate, hungry, the dog mentality, passion for the game, love of the game. That's kind of what we're looking for. Measurable wise, obviously we want guys with height, length, speed, all those type of traits, but at the same time, if they don't have that dog mentality, they don't have that passion for the game, they're not going to be able to reach their full potential. So we really got to filter those guys out and be thorough with everything we do. And I've been happy with how we've done that.
The combine, you mentioned getting playmakers for Bryce. Do you think you've done enough of that, and I'd like to hear it from both of you. Do you think that's something you're going to address again in the draft?
I think it's about just not getting playmakers for Bryce. It's about getting playmakers for our team. For our organization, who's best going to fit our team, who's going to make plays, who's going to take the ball away on the defensive side of the ball, who's going to put the ball in the end zone on the offensive side of the ball. So for us, I think it's about bringing playmakers in here, whether it's, again, taking away the ball on defense or putting the ball in the end zone on offense. That's what we're looking for. And then them having that passion for the game, that hungry mentality.
First off, Panther Raider X, what's up? Jay Issue, Marco's casting in here, Jet, Shane, Zach, Randall, what's up? Cyburn, Shane's in here still. Zach, Randall, bro, didn't know your girl's the best club ever. Yeah. When I started the stream, my girl just called me. She's like, Starbucks is having one for buy one, get one free. So I was like, yeah, hook it up. She took my daughter. She took my daughter to I think she's gonna take her to the park or something. And then Marco's, bro, I have one. Dude, my hair's all a bit a mess, man. My hair's a mess. I gotta go get a fade done. My hair grows so fast and it's thick. I gotta go get a fade. So I had to stop it. I had to put a hat on. Plus, my hair's all messed up from the gym in the shower after the gym. My legs are messed up right now, though. They're still shaking. Miss Ran, what's up, girl? How are you? I hope you're doing well. All right, so far some takeaways. So, because I want to stop it right there. Some takeaways so far. So basically, I've put down some takeaways. Basically, so far, Dave is excited about the scheme defensively, the conversation happening with some of the players they brought in. The continuity of the defensive staff seems to be appreciated. The offensive guys are working through some things. Sounds like they're grateful to be in the building where everyone is pulling in the same direction. I will say that. And then the speaker or these guys, it seems like everyone's opinions and are making the best decision for the Carolina Panthers, and now they have the final say. It sounds like a little bit. The process they said is going to be thorough. Figure out who will be coming in the building and how to get the best out of that player, and who will basically reach their full potential on the defensive side of the ball, as well as who will put the ball. So, just some takeaways real quick. Just some takeaways from right there. All right, let me get back to this. Yeah, it sounds like it, Zach. He might be doing what like Clowney did, man. Zach, he might be pulling what Clowney did. Clowney didn't sign till May. He didn't sign with the Ravens till May, so he might be pulling what Clowney did last year. They ain't tipping their cap in any direction. We shall see, Randall. We shall see. Doing excellent. Got engaged last Friday. Congratulations, madam. Congratulations. As he should. As he should. As he should. But congratulations. Congrats. That's a major step. That is a major step. Must be a lucky guy. It's got to be a lucky guy, right? All right, let's get right back into this.
That dog mentality, and that's what we're looking for.
And going off of that, Dave mentioned how he was satisfied with the free agency so far, and it made him feel less pressured for the draft. Do you share that sentiment?
Yeah, I feel the same way, and we talked about that. I think we were really happy how free agency played out. There was a few guys here and there that, maybe we missed out on that we were targeting, but it really came together well for us. We're really happy how it ended, and, we're excited about the future.
You enter this draft thinking, hey, we might trade into the first round, or hey, we better off trading back and picking up more picks. Any philosophy or feeling for where you might be headed?
Yeah, I think sitting at 33, obviously, you have 32 teams ahead of you. So, we really got to see how it plays out. I'm not going to box myself into any hey, we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that. Ideally, though, if we're sitting there and there's a really good player, we'll take them. Trading up, those are discussions that we still have to have. So, I think everything's on the table right now. I don't want to box us in right now.
You talked about all the new that's come in, new playbook and all that sort of new players. How do you what's job one when you're trying to build cohesion and chemistry with a largely new roster?
Yeah, communication is number one. So definitely, I think the coolest part about my role now, as the head coach, of course, just having a heavy offensive background, but I get to be in the special teams meetings, the defensive meetings. It's I seriously feel like I'm at a coaching convention where I'm in the back just taking notes from all these experts. I get to I was a part of my first pass rush meeting ever, with Todd Wash. He did a fantastic job with the outside linebackers and the interior defensive linemen, talking about stunts and all that stuff. So I guess the reason I'm saying that is I've seen some just really great continuity, familiarity. You fill in those rooms. There's already chemistry with the coaches and the players, the guys that are in there. So it's just, that's been great because you can see, wow, this is a really cool thing to build on right here, this connectedness. Offensively, it's about just creating the same language. What do we call this concept? What do we call these types of runs? Running back, your aiming point is, and you hear the whole room say, outside leg of the tackle. So we're starting to kind of drill in some of that. It feels a little bit clunkier on the offensive side, but there is an excitement. We've gotten some good feedback from the guys just in terms of the way that we're just taking it progressively, just in chunks, and giving it to them in a digestible form so we can master one part before we go to the next. So I think long way to answer your question is it starts with the communication, because I believe if we can speak the same language, then we can build something quicker.
If I could follow on the feedback aspect, taking that for the players, how do you weigh being the head coach, the guy, and taking those kind of notes from the players?
I'm trying to create a place that's great to work at, a place where people get excited to come in, excited to sit in these meeting rooms. It's entertaining, it's informative, but it's not too much. And just in general, it feels personal. So just trying to make sure I position myself in those high traffic places in the building and just make that one touch a day if I can. Just say the guy's name. I was about 85, 90% on the first day, even off of just going off the headshots. These guys look different, when you get to see LeBron in person, he's ginormous, it's like I see this just face, on his shot. So it's just taking in all of that, but just saying a name, if it's a handshake, if it's a pound, oh, this guy wants a hug, it's bringing in for a hug, whatever that touch is, just trying to create that kind of environment here, that this is a place where they feel safe, they can come and just do their job.
Go ahead.
You guys have obviously made
All right, pausing it there. I just want to make sure. Take the comment down, Clay. It's huge. Okay. My bad, guys. All right. So just so if anyone's tuning in, I'm stopping here and there, trying to give you my thoughts, but we're almost done with it. So once this is done, I will give you my takeaways from today's press conference. So just continue to kick back, relax, grab a snack, whatever.
fortifying that offensive line a priority.
Yeah.
Right now, I think Austin Corbett is slated to be center, coming off an injury. How do you weigh that heading into the draft?
Oh, I think it's big. I think it's really important what you just brought up. And my approach, our approach, is really like, how can we challenge this roster every year? So if it's free agency or the draft, it's like, let's attack all of our spots, because we don't want any of our players to just be complacent and just be sitting there like, hey, I got this, no big deal. It's like, hey, no, we're growing. And so that's another position right there where I think this is a great opportunity for Corbs. I think this is I think for him, the way that he's wired, the person, it's a great opportunity for him, and if somebody falls to us that can challenge that position in that spot, then we got to take a serious look at it, and that goes across the board.
This is kind of a short two-part question, but I'll ask them one at a time. First of all, you said something about logos and colors. You don't mean the Panthers logos and colors are changing.
Oh, I'm sorry, clarify. So you got to just picture my last 17 months, right? So I took PowerPoint presentations that were in blue and green, action green, and I turned them into pewter and red, and now we're turning them into process blue and black and switching some logos out, just giving it that really nice touch for our guys. So that's what I meant by that.
And to go back to an earlier question, but as a offensive-minded coach, and that's where you've made your living, I guess. Do you think they have enough weapons yet? You have enough weapons, or is this draft a lot about that on the offensive side of the ball?
I feel great about playing football right now with the group we have. I know that there's guys that are going to be able to help us, that can really challenge our play, elevate our play. This makes us all better. You bring in fresh blood, a rookie who's excited to go at whatever position. I just really think it turns on the whole room where everybody sits up a little bit straighter. You start to feel a a little more agile, and you start to dial in your notes a little bit more. So it's part of the competitive nature of this thing. And yes, I think we should still target playmakers at every position skill-wise on the offensive side.
As a guy who's coached quarterbacks before, where did you come in last year or in recent years with kind of the prevalence and seemingly more importance given to the S2 test and all the talk processing? And where does that fit into your evaluation of quarterbacks?
I think it's all important. Everything matters. Everything counts. I always go back and watch games. The film always brings me back. It just does. And the more you watch it, the clearer the picture becomes. And then we got to be honest as coaches. We are not the ones walking around campuses, talking to people, academic advisors, strength coaches. We're not the ones that go to these games, and go to the swamp, and go into these different places all around the country. That's the scouts. And that's where we have to say, okay, guys, let's evaluate this film, but now let's listen up here, this respect. And I think that's what we've seen too, is we've been, really bringing the two sides with the coaches and the personnel side together to say, hey guys, let's approach this with humility and with respect for what each other does. We got a really good feel for what the system is. They have a really good feel for who these guys are. And so I think that the film, starting with that, but then also taking in the full picture and all the different scores and the information that we get.
Guys, make sure you do me a favor. Make sure you pound that like button. There's 50 people watching, which means there's over 40 people watching on YouTube and over 6 people watching on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, come on over to the YouTube channel. You're more than welcome to join the Rockstar Gang. Make sure you like and subscribe. We are here I'm here Monday through Friday most of the time. Actually, every time. Even when I don't feel like streaming, I'm streaming. So make sure you come over here, pound the like button, subscribe. That's the best thing you can do. We're not done yet. We're going to finish watching this, and I'm going to give you my takeaways.
From the personal standpoint behind the players.
Dan, you mentioned communication earlier. What have the conversations been like with you and Dan and kind of bridging that gulf between a schematic fit and a thing a coach wants versus this talent, these measurable things that scouts look at?
Yeah, well, Dan had the great ideas like right off the bat when we came in with the two staffs. Once our staffs were set, he said, let's bring them in here. I want you guys to talk about our schemes to my staff, to the personnel department and the guys. And so we literally went like big picture offensive philosophy. Jarrell comes in and talks about big picture defensive philosophy. Each position coach talked about the traits that they're looking for. And so then we were able to kind of bring that picture to life from a coaching standpoint, and really give. That was before the scouts all went out on the road and started going to all the pro days, so that was a big part of it. Anything you want to add to that?
No, I think that's been the big thing is just me and Dave talking and just kind of like what we want position specific. What do we want at each position schematically? What are we doing? What are we looking to add on offense? What are we looking at on defense? What type of players down to the small details of what type of players we want at our nickel, at our corner, at our safety. And I think that's been a big difference this year. It's just us getting together, having a really good understanding of what we're doing on offense, the type of guys we want to bring on offense. And then likewise, on the other side of the ball with EJ, being with him a year and kind of knowing that scheme, it's, a lot easier to know what he wants now and, what's gonna make him, the best at his job. So
Clowney was very vocal about recruiting Stephon Gilmore during his introductory presser. Where are you guys on that? Are y'all talking to him or?
Yeah, we're gonna leave the door open there. We're still gonna stay in communication, and after the draft, we'll circle back and kind of see where it goes from there.
And when talking to your scouts, when you're not currently existing in the first round, do you tell them to go look for guys that you think might go in the second round, or is there any difference in how you go about it?
No, we evaluate everybody. We're going to be thorough in everything we do. You never know if a guy's going to fall into the second round. We have the first pick of the second round, so we're going to be as thorough as possible, be ready for any scenario. We're going to go through every scenario and hopefully that prepares us to do our best on draft night.
Last year, the thought process with Bryce was you guys weren't going to settle. Now you're at 33, and you do have to kind of play the value of the board and watch how things go. How much do you both have to kind of fall back on the Seattle experience, where you guys were picking late in the first round pretty regularly, even Tampa last year, I guess, and kind of find the patience in the situation, because they are pretty different situations?
Yeah, hopefully we're picking a lot later for years to come, and not early draft picks. So I'd like to get used to that. Obviously, I'd love to have a first round pick, but hey, sitting back there, we still think we can get some really good players at 33, at 39. So yeah, we're gonna be patient, kind of see who falls, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, that 33rd pick, having almost 24 hours to A, see who's available, and B, see who wants to maybe move up. How kind of valuable is that pick?
It is. Obviously we're going to have all night, all the next day, to field calls if we want to trade that pick, or to figure out which player is going to fit us best, whether it's offense or defense. So we're going to have a lot of time to discuss and make the best decision for the Panthers.
I mentioned Dan's going to be getting a lot of calls that night.
Yeah.
And you talked about, being in the lead chair, in the GM chair now for the first time. Was there one piece of advice leading into the draft that you may have picked up along the way to help you prepare for the day that you are making that call? I mean, is there something you learned from Scott or elsewhere along the way?
I don't know if it's just like one thing. I mean, I've learned so many things from so many people since I've, been doing this. Whether it's John Schneider out in Seattle, Brandon Beane and Joe Shane in Buffalo, and then coming here with Scott. I've learned so much from a lot of people, and I'm going to continue to keep learning and evolving and getting better at my job. So I don't think it's one thing. I think it's just about, really evolving with the times and always trying to improve yourself and your process. And we're going to continue to do that.
In addressing playmakers earlier, you mentioned as an example guys who take the ball away on defense. Is that a specific area that you guys both would like to see improvement in?
Yeah, I think so. I think we would all admit, we didn't take the ball away enough last year on the defensive side of the ball. And I think that is an emphasis. Whether you read into that or not on who that is that we're interested in, that's to be seen. But we want to take the ball away and we want to put the ball in the end zone. So that's our emphasis.
Big picture question. Is there perhaps a position group that you would like to address in the draft and maybe develop over acquiring them in free agency? Is that like something that y'all consider when you approach the draft?
I think it's just about you approach the draft and you never know who's going to be there. Not all two boards are the same. There's, 32 boards in the NFL. You think how it's going to, all unravel and who's going to be there. But, you just never know who's going to be there. So that's why I think we like philosophically we want to put ourselves in position, which we think we did this year through free agency. And that way, we can take the best available players. So that's why we do that.
Speaking of the draft board, with each of you guys new in your respective positions, did y'all like the work behind putting that together?
It's a lot of fun. Working with Dave's really easy. I think hopefully he would say the same thing about me, where it's, it's easy. We have fun. I think it's easy, to really do something like this and put a board together when you enjoy who you're working with, not just Dave, but all the scouts, all the coaches. It's great coming into work every day. We have a really good environment right now. We feel like our culture's changing, not only in the locker room, but also upstairs too. So we're really excited about the direction that we're moving.
You guys have a long-term scope at things. So, for instance, if a player is at a position that you think could be a major need in 2025 and you want to develop behind somebody who is a veteran who might be on a walk year, like how much would that weigh into the way, you said you want to take the best player for you. How much do you kind of weigh that as opposed to like the immediate, like this is an immediate upgrade?
Yeah, I think you always gotta talk about succession planning, and that's stuff that we definitely talk about. Myself along with Brant and Dave, and we sit there, we talk about the roster, not just now, in a short term view, but we're going to look at it in the long term view as well.
We'll do a couple more.
And getting the 39th pick in the Brian Burns trade, how much did that kind of change maybe your philosophy with number 33, whether position or just openness to trading back?
Yeah, I think it all depends on what happens there at 33. But it's definitely nice looking up at that board and seeing 33 and 39 highlighted in processed blue. So I think it's going to leave us open to a lot of options in the draft and allow for a lot of flexibility if we choose to. So yeah, it's nice seeing that.
And Dave, obviously the free agency, a lot of that you even said was about putting more people around Bryce to make him successful this year. How much conversation about the draft is about that, or you truly feel across the board you can get the best player?
Yeah, I mean,
for me, like, I think it's not about surrounding Bryce with great players. It's about building a great team. Then Bryce can just do his part of it. That's my goal. That's my heart for this whole thing, is I want him to be able to feel like he can just come and just do his 111. If he can just do his part. If you look at the great teams he was a part of in Alabama, he won a lot of games when they had a good offense, a good defense. He did his part, and he played big in big moments, and I would love to create that here so he can just do that part of it and not make it about him. The pass game will be specific to Bryce. Will become that. It'll become what he's confident with and what he can do. But I think that's kind of, hopefully, if I said that a different way, I apologize. Just kind of want to, try to build a team the right way.
Dave, going into your first pre-draft process as a head coach, what is something about the timeline, the process that has stuck out to you?
I got to watch everybody. That did big time. It's been an absolute grind, and I got to thank Dan because, as I go, it's like, hey, tell me where to go next. I've kind of been able to just like follow his lead on like, hey, you should watch this guy. Why don't you check out these guys? And so when that directs my focus, then I can kind of prioritize the windows that I have to evaluate and then say, yeah, get to that guy, but watch these couple guys together. Tell me what you think. And so he's been really helpful that way, because this, while I tried to, like in the past, I would watch all the offensive guys, but then I might only watch like the top 3 defensive guys in each position just so I kind of knew the names, so yeah, that was kind of a big part of it for me for the process.
One last question. Dan, as you were talking about the meeting with Brad and EJ and talking about the position coaches and everything and specific needs, spot by spot, is that, it sounds like, for those of us that have never been in those meetings, it sounds like that's a rather unique approach to get that detailed in what you're looking for at corner and defensive tackle and linebacker, that sort of thing. Is that a unique thing? Is this it sounds like a major collaboration.
Yeah, it is. I think that's what you need to do to be successful. Is everybody has to be on the same page. Everybody has to know what we're looking for. The scouts are going to be on the road during the fall. So they're going to have to know exactly, hey, we're going out and we're looking for X, Y, and Z, at each position, and it just makes their path, a little clearer to what they're looking for, and that way they're not like, looking for something that they don't even know what they're looking for. So we're going to have clear lines of communication. We're going to know exactly.
34 people watching. Make sure you pound that like button.
Take it on the road with them.
Make sure you pound the like button. There's 25 votes already on the poll. There's no reason why we shouldn't have 25 likes.
Whether it's the weight, whether it's the length. So yeah, I think it's just all about being, thorough in the process and, ultimately building the best roster in the NFL. That's the goal.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that was the end of that. That was the end of that, it seems like. Let's make sure. Seems like it. All right. So let's take some takeaways. That's funny how that just popped up as the next video. It says only 6 people are watching, but that thing is lying. Stop sharing. Let's get this. Get myself back up. So I got some takeaways. I was typing here and there and putting in some notes. From the press conference. I mean, all right. Trying to finish up my notes here from the press conference today. Trying to finish this up here. Okay. So here's the scoop. Here's the scoop. I'll say this. From that press conference today, it was pretty interesting to me. Dan Morgan wanted to assure everyone that they were on the same page, that's for sure. So he had all staff give their input on how they envisioned the offense. Then all the staff gave their input on how they envisioned the defense shaping up. Okay. It's a shift from previous years where this alignment wasn't consistent. Okay. Another thing, Canales was emphasizing that the draft isn't solely about stacking talent around Bryce Young. He emphasized the fact that it's about crafting a solid team where Young can contribute. Drawing parallels, and he was drawing parallels to his role at Alabama. To me, I think another thing I took away from this is that Canales anticipates increased interest in the 33rd pick due to extended evaluation between the first and second rounds. Okay. I anticipate that too. I'm telling you right now, again, I will tell you this right now. There are going to be 4 teams. I think there's going to be at least 4 or 5 teams coming for that pick. For that 33rd pick. I truly believe it. I think I've been saying this for how long for the 33rd pick? I think the Giants are going to still be in talks with us. I think that the Raiders are definitely going to be in talks with us. I think the Los Angeles Chargers will be in talk with us. I think Denver Broncos will be too. All those teams that I just mentioned, besides the Chargers, want a quarterback. Broncos definitely want a quarterback, and so do the Raiders. The Chargers, do they want a quarterback? No, they got Justin Herbert. Giants, do they want a quarterback? No, but is there a center or maybe an offensive lineman or maybe a wide receiver they want to get there at 33? I guarantee you there might be. Because I'm telling you right now, Vegas is probably going to take some patience and hope at least either Michael Penix or Bo Nix is there starting of day 2. And I think the Broncos are going to try to pull the same move. So I do agree with Canales in that aspect of things. Because I'm serious, man. Regarding cornerback Stephon Gilmore, Dan Morgan keeps options open post-draft. Revisit discussions with Gilmore. Canales seems to be aiming to foster a positive work environment. He admits that he's improving remembering players' names during offseason workouts. That's just some small takeaways. The Panthers are open-minded about the draft strategy, whether it involves trading up, picking the best player available at 33, or acquiring more picks. Okay. I think that all those options are on the table. I think they're both. I think Canales and Dan Morgan are open-minded to that. Okay. Morgan emphasized the importance of bringing in playmakers across the board, particularly those who can create turnovers on defense. And the team is undergoing changes, including playbook that we just heard, that logo updates as part of their fresh direction. Now, again, Canales did emphasize on that logo update a little bit more. People were like, well, are we changing the logo? Josh, I would love an extra third round pick too. I would love an extra third round pick myself. I think there's a lot of things though, like taking away from this press conference too. You know, these guys have addressed several position needs in free agency, and Canales and Morgan can now focus on the draft, who fit the Panthers mold. Both, I think another thing I took away from this is both Canales and Morgan are enthusiastic about the team's trajectory, and they highlighted the groundwork and they laid in free agency that allows them to be flexible for the upcoming draft. So those are my 10 takeaways. I made these. I just took 10 takeaways from the profits. I mean, again, it's hard for me not to like what I'm hearing, but it's also hard for me not to be realistic at the same time, right? The thing is for me is there are things that Dave Canales and Dan Morgan cannot do in this draft. Like, I'm open-minded too when it comes to trading back. I'm open-minded to taking the best player available that fits our needs and our wants here in Carolina. But there are some mistakes that can happen, and they just can't happen. All right. Oh my God. Oh. Espresso is wonderful. Espresso is wonderful. We also need that second round pick in 2025 back, just saying, for sure. I think we could swap a second round picks and pick up a next year's. I mean, I think there's a ways around it. Again, I'm telling you right now with that 33rd pick, I'm telling you right now with that 33rd pick, I wouldn't be surprised if a team we do the swindling. I wouldn't be surprised I wouldn't be shocked if Carolina tries to pull Bears, what the Bears pulled on us with a 33rd pick. I'm telling you they will. And they have the chance to, especially with, like I said, I'm telling you right now, if the Broncos and the Raiders are patient enough to hope at least Michael Penix or Bo Nix is their starter of the day too, don't be shocked if one of those two teams become calling. Don't be shocked. Now, there's other teams out there I think that could call upon us too. I think there's a lot of teams that could be coming out there. LA, Jaguars. I'm telling you, this is a deep draft where teams are going to get a little itchy. I'm telling you right now. I wouldn't be surprised if Atlanta or the Saints can call him because this is such a deep draft not just at the wide receiver position, but in a lot of positions in general. So you have to be smart though trading back because, again, you trade back, you might lose that guy there. You might lose that guy there. But they've got to see. Dan Morgan holds all the power here. I mean, we all know that this is a quarterback needy, help a quarterback needy team right now. And I think this team definitely can use some additional draft capital. So I could see the Raiders and the Broncos hoping and waiting if Michael Penix or Bo Nix be there at start of day 2. And they might try to be battling out for it, which means guess who's going to get more picks? The better deal is going to win. I wouldn't trade to the Falcons. I'm just saying. I'm giving examples here. I just wouldn't be shocked if teams come calling. Now, my top 2 on that though is definitely the Broncos and Las Vegas. I think between those 2 teams, someone's going to be calling the Panthers at 33. Now, 2 other teams I think could be calling is definitely the New York Giants. The reason why I think that someone could be calling at the number 33rd pick for like the Giants, there's a wide receiver on the board that they want. Because here's the thing. They're going to take one of these quarterbacks in this draft, I think. They're going to either be one of the guys that take Jaden Daniels. I think it's between Jaden Daniels and J.J. McCarthy for the New York Giants. I truly believe that. Now, I do think that L.A., the Chargers, are going to take a offensive tackle and the first pick. So I think the Chargers could be calling us for that wide receiver in the second round. So that's why I see the Giants and the Chargers calling. Now, I've already said the Raiders and the Broncos. But another team I think that could become calling because we've had talks with them in the past. I think another team is the LA Rams. Here's the reason why I'm saying this. All right, so hear me out. Here's the reason why I really say the Giants could be calling us. Okay? They have the number 6 pick in the first round, but they're in a similar situation as the Las Vegas Raiders, if you think about it. They're not too thrilled with starter quarterback Daniel Jones. I still think that they get, like I said, I still think the Giants get JJ or Jalen Daniels. I think it's between those 2. But they're also at risk of getting jumped by the Minnesota Vikings. So the Giants and the Panthers have done business before, so why not again? I can see the Panthers decide to trade with the Giants because the Giants are going to give us their 47th pick and their 70th pick for that 33rd pick. Which means you get their second round pick and an extra third out of it. Now, if we're talking about the Los Angeles Rams, they had the 19th pick in the first round. They have a 36-year-old quarterback in Matthew Stafford. They might want to secure a successor now. So that kind of leans back to the Michael Penix or Bo Nix. So they might want to get that quarterback, especially since the 2025 quarterback draft class doesn't look too promising coming up, guys. The 2025 draft class for the quarterbacks does not look that good. So the Panthers would have to be okay with dropping into the 50s for this deal to happen. But when you have the 39th pick in possession, it could make it easier, especially if you can get extra draft capital out of them. You're probably going to get their 52nd pick, and then you'll probably get their 83rd pick and a future pick. Now, if you want that extra second round pick next year, that's the trade you make. If you make that trade with LA, if you're going to trade back in the 50s or the 40s, you try to get that future second round pick back. It's going to be a bit, yeah, exactly. It's going to be a bidding war for that 33rd pick. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, I mean, if they did come calling, you'd try to swindle the fuck out of them for sure. There's calls on all picks, either outgoing or incoming. Yep. So, I mean, again, I won't be surprised, guys. I won't be surprised. Now, from these takeaways, they're just, I mean, they didn't really give us anything of saying, okay, they're going to trade back, or they're going to go with a wide receiver with the first pick, or they're going to go with a cornerback with the first pick, or they're going to go with a center at the first pick, or they're going to go with a pass rusher at the first pick. They didn't give us that. Comment what you got. What was your biggest takeaway from this press conference? Did you feel that they're going to go with a certain position? Do you feel like that Dan Morgan and Dave Canales, just from this press conference alone, do you think that they're just going to take the best player available? Or do you think they're going to take a certain position and they're going to go for whoever that is? Or do you think the trade back is for sure? I mean, they're so open-minded, it's kind of hard to tell, right? It's kind of hard to tell where this team's going to go. But the thing is for me is this. After that press conference today, let's be real. There's always a chance that things could go wrong. All right. That's why I'm here to talk about the Carolina Panthers all the time, because I want to keep it real with you guys. But there's also, you got to keep it there. The Panthers have to avoid at all costs. There are things that they have to avoid at all costs in this upcoming draft. I will say this, and I've been thinking long and hard about it. I don't think you take a cornerback at the first pick. I don't think, as much as I like TJ Tampa, I don't think you take him at the first pick. You damn sure don't take Mike Sandstrell out of Michigan at the first pick. You don't take a Kamari Lassiter. I don't even think if Nate Wiggins is there, you take him. Because look, I get it. The Panthers need another starting quarterback. But let's be real. That's not the position of need to be the team's top priority. It's one of them. But to build a successful NFL franchise, and I thought long hard about this before this press conference today. That's not the position that needs to be the team's top priority. To build a successful NFL franchise, a team needs a franchise quarterback, right? And while the jury, whether you believe in Bryce Young or not, that's on you. That's fine. The jury's still out on him. I'm 50-50 on the kid, okay? He's going to be the starter entering 2024, whether you like it or not, okay? So, look, you might as well just go ahead and focus on building from the inside out. The trenches need to be competent enough to protect him, and the Panthers already have 4 strong players on the offensive line, and you know why I said 4. I don't believe in Austin Corbett being a 5. I don't trust Austin Corbett with a torn ACL and MCL yet. But the cornerback is an outside position. No pun intended. So it can't, so as much as I think the corner position is important, you don't take it as the first pick. Now, you can take it as the second pick. I'd be okay with that, but I don't think you take it as your first. But again, we'll have to wait until draft day. Another thing is, I don't think in this draft for the Carolina Panthers, you double dip at wide receiver. I don't think you waste a pick on another wide receiver. You get the guy that you want. You get the best wide receiver there, whether it's Xavier Legette, whether it's Ladd McConkey, whatever it's Keon Coleman, maybe Adoniram Mitchell falls, but again, I'm not too sure. Adoniram Mitchell's falling down my draft board right now after the things I've heard with him with all on and off the field issues, but also having diabetes. There is some issues that I have with Adoniram Mitchell. Dang it, Randall. God dang it. God. Randall's gonna get me canceled. Um hmm. Yeah. Yeah, Josh, if there's any, that's what I'm saying. On and off the field issues, I'm telling you right now, they're not getting drafted to the Carolina Panthers. On and off the field issues, if there's anything at all, any speculation, you're not getting drafted to the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, here's the reason why you don't double dip in the draft. This is the reason why I said that they've got to avoid double dipping. Okay, we already said the one reason, another thing they need to avoid is obviously taking a quarterback first pick. But I think that you cannot double dip on a wide receiver. Here's the reason why. I've thought about it. Now, again, if you want to take him as the last pick, 5, 6 round pick, I might be okay with. But other than that, you're not taking a wide receiver at 33, 39. You're not taking a wide receiver at 33 and 65. You're not taking a wide receiver at 33 and 101. You're not taking a wide receiver at 141 or 142. You're not doing that. You're not double dipping. So wherever you take your first wide receiver off, that's the guy we're getting. The Panthers have made moves to improve this wide receiver room. And let's be real, they still need help in that department for sure. But without true difference maker, listen to what I'm saying. Without a true difference maker at wideout, it's going to be tough for Young to take his game to the next level, I'll be honest. You got to take advantage of the fact that this year's draft class is exceptionally deep at wide receiver. And so, okay. If they actually see, I thought about that now. I might be backing off my word. Ugh. All right. I might be backing off my word. Well, FM, I'm not saying I'm not saying don't take don't take either one of them. Okay? Take a second to elaborate on issues going on with AD. I haven't heard this. Just basically from what I know, Randall, from draft boards and things I'm reading upon the kid, the only thing I know is that the issues he does have on and off the field issues, like Jermaine Burton. So a lot of drama. And he has diabetes. So there's health concerns there. I've heard that there is some laziness. I've read some laziness. I've heard drama. I've heard there's a lot of stuff going on. The guy's got talent. Don't get me wrong. 4.34 speed. Got the talent. Again, I don't know, but I've heard like on certain draft boards and certain articles I've read, diabetes, laziness, drama in the locker room, stuff like that. Now, again, I don't know if that's true. I just read and I tell you what I know. Now, I could break down his game film for you and tell you he's a fucking baller, but again, at the same time, he probably could be a lot better. I've heard people say that AD could be a lot better than what he shows on his game film if he actually like took care of it better of himself because of the diabetes thing, but also wasn't such a drama queen and actually put effort into practice and stuff like that. So let me rephrase what I was saying earlier about what we need to avoid. Burton a cocky fuck, but remember Stroud so-called had character issues too last year, right? Behind the draft. Yeah. King Jermaine, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's why I said I read and I just tell you what I know. I read and I just tell you what I know. Not saying it's true, because don't like I'm not a person that I don't lie, but I can't say and guarantee you that that information's correct. I can read and I can just tell you. Now, we can break down his game film all day. That's a different story. But I can tell if he was a baller or not. So let me take a step back to what I was saying. What I was saying is not they must avoid not double dipping at wide receiver. So hear what I'm saying again. They must avoid not double dipping at wide receiver. That's what I was saying. They have to make some moves to improve the wide receiver depth chart. Sorry. I was not saying what I was saying correctly. Okay. They still need help in that department. So without a true difference wide out, okay, a difference maker wide out, it's going to be tough for Young to take his game to the next level. And it'd be great to have that guy to develop with, right? So, or those guys. So let's take it. You got to take advantage of the fact of this draft class with exceptional, deep talent at the wide receiver position. I think you do have to grab at least 2 talented prospects. I'm sorry. I am reverberating off of what I am redoing what I was saying earlier, and I didn't really get it finished. Because you think about it this way, right? Let's say you're playing darts. This is the best way I can explain it to you when it comes to the double dipping in the wide receiver position. Let's say you're at a bar and you're throwing darts with your boys. If you're able to throw more darts at the board, the greater chances are of you hitting a bullseye, right? That's what I'm saying. But to do that, I think that Carolina, the only way they double dip in the draft is unless they trade back and get more draft capital. Because I feel that there's more position of need than drafting 2 wide receivers and having just the standalone draft picks we have right now. This is true. But with more darts and even further away, you can still hit the bullseye. You have more darts. I'm just saying. But trading down does come with a cost, I will say. Trading down does come with a cost because you don't have that normal slate of draft picks this year. Obviously, because of those daring trades you had years ago. But that doesn't mean they can't make the most of what they do have. So if a team comes calling with an offer to move up in the draft, I think the Panthers could seriously consider it. I'm not a fan of it. It might not be the flashiest move, but it could help restock our assets for the future. And we'll say that. But there's a lot. I mean, there's do's and don'ts to all this. There is do's and don'ts to all of this, especially to the draft. And I took some do's, I took some notes, and I put down some do's and don'ts. Because the Panthers have a list of do's and don'ts. I'm trying to find those notes that I had made out for you guys for the do's and don'ts in the draft. I'm gonna have to find it because I think y'all would enjoy that. Because I did have some good notes upon that, what I wanted to do. I can't remember everything because I talk about so much of the Carolina Panthers, so I have to take notes. Trying to find it. I feel you, Randall. I feel you. You got a good point. I see both sides of it, though. I see both sides of it. When did I think I actually did a video on that, the do's and don'ts for this draft. Did I not? Let me see if I find it here. That was 3 days ago. I told y'all the do's and don'ts 3 days ago. Let me see if I can find it. Because I want to, 3 days ago was what, the 15th? Oh, all right. I found it. This is the don'ts. Okay. Where did I put the do's? Where did I put the do's? Fuck. No. Man, I'm going to be pissed if I can't find that. I had that set up. No. I'm going to have to find it now. That's frustrating. I had this, the do's and don'ts. Hold on, I'm going to find it. This is bothering me. Because I want to break that down again for you guys. Because this is what I want them to do. I can't remember. Oh, okay. Here we go. All right, hold on. All right, so I've got the do. All right, I have the don'ts pulled up now. I just found the don'ts. All right. So, give me a second here. Let's start with the good. Well, I always like to start with the good news. putting it in this one. Let's get out of there. All right. Give me a second. Let's start with the bad news first. So let's start with the don'ts. I already kind of harped on that, but there's some more don'ts that they don't need to do in this draft, I believe. Sorry, it's taking me a hot minute today. Because I also wasn't prepared to do this live stream today, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. Because I had no idea that I didn't know that they were gonna do this press conference today. So it was kind of it was like last minute. But it is what it is. We're here. We're winging it. We're good. We're all having a good time. That's all that matters. So this is what I have put together here since I found my do's and I found my don'ts. I'm having to fix my thing here. Let's fix this. Fixing my notes here. All right, so my do's and my don'ts. All right, my bad. I think they trade back for a decent value of the 40s. I also call the call king with the $10 dono. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that, dude. Appreciate you, man. Really appreciate that. That goes a long freaking way. So shout out to you, my friend. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yeah, I did do this last week. I did do this last week, Randall. So the do's for the draft. Let's do the don'ts. Okay, let's start with the don'ts first. All right, for me, this team should not trade up. Last year they went all out in a big trade up. But lightning rarely strikes twice. Okay. With a fresh GM and a coach at the helm, they need to play it cool and not gamble away more draft picks. That's for sure. This draft is way too deep enough to find. This draft is deep enough to find gems without making risky moves. Okay. I think another thing is don't ignore defense in round 2. What I mean by that is that not when I said, because I did say earlier, that taking a cornerback, they should avoid taking a cornerback in the first round or first pick. I was talking about other defensive positions. All right. I'm okay with not ignoring other defensive positions because I understand that the offense might be the key focused here because of Bryce Young, but don't sleep on the defense. I think if there's a top-notch defensive talent that slips in the second round, the Panthers shouldn't hesitate to go and snag them. You need to build a solid D, and it's crucial to beef up that. And it is just as crucial to beef up that D just as much as the offense. They've done a great job in free agency to do so. I still think a center is someone you can still get. But in the second round, if they don't go center in the second round, I'm okay with it. If they went Chop Robinson and Xavier Legette, just for an example, okay? I'm not saying that it's exactly what I want, but if it happened, I wouldn't be mad about it, that's for sure. Chop Robinson's probably not going to be there. So let me use a different example. Let's say they go 33, okay? They go with Xavier Legette, all right? Just for an example. And then they trade back 39 pick because I think that's what they should do is trade the 39 pick instead of the 33rd. They get a second pick, and then they get an extra third, fourth, whatever. Take Chris Broswell, for example. Okay, now you've solidified that you've bolstered up and built a solid D around like a guy like Chris Broswell who fits the 3-4 mold anyways. I think another thing is they should don't do is they don't need to reach for tight ends. I still think this tight ends class is pretty deep. The Panthers need a standout tight end for sure. When's the last time they had a standout tight end? The Greg Olsen days? right? JP, so correct, man. Let's start a pot. What happens if when draft Bo Nix at 33? Oh my. Could you imagine? Could you imagine, AJ? Oh my God. We know you're a Gamecock fan. Oh, leave me alone, Josh. Just because you don't like him. Mr. Malik Washington and Lad McConkey and Ricky Pearsall. You don't know what you're talking about, man. I'm just kidding. But they shouldn't reach for a tight end. I know it's been a while since they start that we haven't had a standout tight end since the Greg Olsen days. But there is desperation, and it shouldn't lead to reckless picks. This year's tight end pool, I wouldn't say it's not overflowing with studs because I think there are some studs in here. Obviously, Brock Bowers, Jadavion Sanders, I think are absolute studs already. But after that, there's really no surefire studs. But the thing is patience is key there when it comes to the tight end position. I think if the right player isn't there, you don't take him. But I do think that they'd still take a chance on a guy like a Theo Johnson or a Ben Sinnott or a Dallin Holker, for example. Hell, I'd be okay with taking Cade Stover. All right. Even though Mr. Josh in the chat is not a fan of Cade Stover, guys, by the way. He is not a fan of that at all. I had to get Josh. What do you think if Sanders is in the third? I mean, I'd be willing to take Jadavion Sanders in the third. AJ's choosing violence for sure. Yeah, but Bo Nix would be insane. I doubt that happens though. But who fucking knows, man? I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't be mad if we didn't get him. I wouldn't be mad if we didn't go and we did get him. So I'm like, okay, either way. But just sticking with Tommy Trimble doesn't make sense to me, but I still think they go out and get one. Another one. I don't think we should reach for and jump the gun on a running back. As much as I like Trey Brinson, as much as I like Jonathan Brooks, even though my top two running backs are Trey Benson and Braylon Allen, the running back lineup does need a boost. I do believe that, but that doesn't mean that we need to jump at the first name that pops up. With no clear standout in this running back ranks, I think Trey Benson's the clear standout, and then after that, I think it's Braylon Allen. All right, I got Jonathan Brooks after Braylon Allen. If Jonathan Brooks didn't tear his ACL, and it depends on how bad that ACL is, then we can make a case for Jonathan Brooks. But the Panthers should resist the urge to reach. There's plenty of talent to be found in the later rounds without stretching for it. You could get a guy like Xavier Davis, who I'm very high on, who is 6'1". If y'all want that big workhorse running back and get a late round pick, with that last pick, who I think he'll be there, Isaiah Davis was on an undefeated South Dakota State team. He ran for over 4,000 yards his second year at South Dakota State. Then his next year ran for over 1,500. Big workhorse, 6'1", 225 running back. You can get in the later rounds. All right. Yeah, I'm okay with either one of those two, Josh. I'm okay with Sinnott or Theo. I'm okay with it for sure. Guys, make sure you pound that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. make sure you click that post notifications bell. If you're just joining, we just not too long ago finished up the press conference. I gave you my takeaways, and now we're talking about the do's and don'ts again of what the Panthers should do and not do in the draft. Now here are my do's. First things first, the Panthers aren't exactly contenders for the Super Bowl of 2024 now, are they? So as we continue to rebuild this team, we have to be patient under this first-year general manager, first-year head coach. And they should be looking to acquire, I think, more draft capital. I'm going to harp on this, and I'm going to stand on that mountain until it happens. Now, unfortunately, they don't currently have a first-round pick. We don't have a second-round pick next year. So I think that's another thing we got to think about is trying to recuperate that second-round pick for next year. But that 33rd overall selection is still available as a valuable asset. And I'm telling you, teams are going to be calling. They could definitely use that to their advantage, especially if a quarterback is on another team's radar. Like I said, Vegas Broncos, Bo Nix, Michael Penix. If both of them fall down, I wouldn't be surprised. If both of them fall down, one of them might be calling our phone. It might come down who gives the better option. The other team might end up calling Washington, who's right behind us. But here's the thing. We better hope that it's just either but one or the other. Because if you get one or the other, if it's just one of them between Penix and Bo Nix, and it's just one of them, and the Raiders and the Broncos are looking for one, they are going to be calling our phone, and that's where Carolina can be the Chicago Bears and pull Chicago Bears. There's a chance there. So, I mean, again, I still think trading back is the number one thing for me. AJ, shut up. Shut up. You and your conspiracies flowing over here. God. I keep seeing a draft, a tight end. Should we give Steven Sullivan a true chance at tight end number 1? No, I don't think so. And also, I don't know if Dave really uses tight ends like that. No, he does. That's why you saw Kate Otton last year at Tampa Bay. That's why you saw Kate Otton last year have his best season. Canales does like to use the tight ends. He also likes to emphasize the running backs in the passing game. This scheme is going to be a lot different than what we saw last year. Now, I don't know if it's going to benefit Bryce, and I can't say it's going to. But you sure as hell can try to build around him and see if he's that guy. Again, I'm 50-50 on the kid. Y'all got to understand this. I think a lot of people believe that I'm like a Bryce believer. I'm not against him, but I'm not against the kid because I want the kid to succeed for what we invested into him. But we'll see. Only time's going to tell on that. Well, I'm not trying to give away draft capital. I'm trying to attain more, Jadarius. I'm trying to obtain more. He made a lot of guys look good, Call King. He made Russell Wilson a Super Bowl winner, a Pro Bowler. He helped DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Look how good those guys are. Now, again, God-given talent is always helpful. Geno Smith researched his career and then did the same thing with Bo Nix. So, well, again, also, Josh, guys, we also still need to think about it this way. Yeah. He did, but I think it's a different system than what Canales ran. I think Canales runs like a more of a West Coast style, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's going to be more like a West Coast. JP, am I right on that? Is it going to be more like a West Coast style offense? Or is it going to be more like a spread? I need to dive deep into what our offensive scheme is going to look like. I'm drinking coffee at like 2 p.m. This is insane. And it's espresso, so I'm about to be fire. I'm like going to be balls to the walls here shortly. Yeah, I think Jadarius, you got to be. It's a make or break season for him. I truly believe that. Is it Call King? The Call King comes in and says it's a West Coast. Ranked 21st in last season. Doesn't screen that Canales looks to utilize that to me. He might. I mean, again, I feel like he's going to, but he might not. Randall, he might not. I think it's all going to depend on how this offense is going to look. If they draft a tight end, I think they're going to use a tight end position a little bit more. And they might go by like a committee approach with it between Trimble and then whoever they draft. Because I know for a fact Stephen Sullivan and Ian Thomas, they're only going to be on the field for freaking blocking purposes, if anything. Because Ian Thomas has bricks for hands. Now, unless they truly believe Ian Thomas can be more than what he was when we drafted him how long ago. I mean, I don't know how this guy's still on the team. I don't know how Ian Thomas still sticks around. He is a pass. I will, yes, Randall, he is. I know that. But I'm just saying, if they draft a tight end, he's not going to be seeing the field very much. Maybe from the bench, but that's about it. Thomas is only going to be coming in on run blocking plays. I just don't see this tight end room being that good. Now, Steve, the only thing that benefits for Stephen Sullivan is that he did work with Canales. Has worked with him in the past. It's similar. It'll be similar in terms of the style, West Coast base, same as Wright's. Route concepts probably different though. Okay. That's what I kind of figured. Another thing they got to do. Okay, the next thing that this team has to do in this draft is that they probably should draft a wide receiver in the second round, right? They have 2 prime opportunities at 33 and 39. So I think one of the two, they definitely draft a wide receiver. All right. And it's true, that we have Deontay Johnson, Adam Thielen. As of right now, those are the primary targets for sure. But Johnson's on his final season of his contract. So is he going to be here next season? Do we know Deontay Johnson's going to re-sign with the Carolina Panthers? Right? And then you got Thielen, who's set to turn 34 years old this summer. So they need to find a young receiver who can grow with your franchise quarterback, or at least the guy that if it's not Bryce, the guy they bring in next year. But again, bring in a guy that can potentially become that number one option if not Deontay Johnson does. Right? Obviously, there's been a lot of talks of who's those potential targets could be. Keon Coleman, Troy Franklin, Xavier Legette, Ladd McConkey, Adonia Mitchell, Ricky Parasol, Jalen Polk, Xavier Worthy. Sounds like Jalen Polk, by the way, guys, his draft stock has moved up tremendously. Jalen Polk might be a sleeper. Because, in Washington, Rome Odunze was that guy. And like in LSU, Neighbors was that guy. But Brian Thomas was getting a little bit more, it seems to be moving down draft boards. But that I don't think that's a not a knock to him. But I think Rome Odunze was so impactful there in Washington, it took away from Jalen Polk a little bit. But now his draft stock has really, really gone up. So watch out for Jalen Polk. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha, Jay. We'll call it Jay. We'll rock with Jay then. JP. Josh says, I stand by my statement, my boy. My guy. Another thing that the Panthers should do. They should also look to draft competition at the cornerback. I do believe they still should. Now, should they make the cornerback position the first round, first 2 picks? No. But I do think they need to bring in some guys to bring not only a security blanket just in case JC Horn gets down, but someone who's going to bring competition to Dane Jackson for that number 2 spot. Okay, it's important to this organization right now. They kind of seem high on Dane Jackson. He's currently down on. He's currently number 2 as the unofficial depth chart as the starting quarterback, but this would be his first start, like as a starter. Like he would be a starter. This is his first in his career as a starter. Now, he's been a rotational piece and not a bad one. But with JC Horn's extensive injury history, you got to look in that room, man. It would be wise for the Panthers to draft that position. I don't care where it's at. I know it won't be the first 2 picks, but I would be okay with it with a 3rd round, 4th, 5th. But again, that's why I think you got to trade back. I seriously believe you got to trade back. So you can get these guys that you want. Now, again, that's easier said than done. This is the NFL draft. That shit's a lot harder. It's a lot harder to do it compared to mock drafts. But we've seen mock drafts, and we've done plenty of them on this show. And sometimes that shit works out. Sometimes it doesn't. By the way, I still can't believe how nuts PFF is right now, by the way. Still blows my mind that Tavondre Sweat's ranked 122 on their big board. And he was ranked like 65 at one point. So, enough about PFF. But guys that we could definitely target is like Kyrie Jackson out of Oregon, Kamari Lassiter out of Georgia, Kool-Aid McKinstry out of Alabama, Enos Rakestraw Jr. out of Missouri, Mike St. Ristel out of Michigan, and TJ Tampa. You know who he is. I've harped on him before. He's my guy. But again, some of those guys I just mentioned, I would say like Kamari Lassiter, Kool-Aid, Enos, Mike, TJ. The only person I don't see coming out of that second round or that will be out of that second round is Kyrie Jackson. Kyrie Jackson's like a 3rd, 4th round pick. But everybody else on that list that I mentioned, those guys are all going in the second round. And then last but not least, and I think this is one of the biggest things that I think that they have to do, is you got to draft an insurance policy at the center position. They're apparently looking that, they're not apparently, they are moving Austin Corbett to the center position. With 2 ACLs and 2 MCLs, this to me is far from a sure thing. Corbett we know he's never recorded a regular season snap at center. When he was at Cleveland, it was all preseason snaps. And then now he's sustained 2 serious injuries in each of the last 2 seasons. To make sure they have an insurance, probably even an eventual starter, the Panthers have to look at the draft to get a middleman. There are some potential targets out there. You got Graham Barton out of Duke who can play guard. He can play left tackle. He can do it fucking all. Graham Barton, but he's going in the first round. Zach Frazier, Bogues Limmer, Tanner Bortiolione, another guy who's very versatile. His draft stock's actually kind of gone up for him. Dylan McMahon, that's who it was. His name's not Nick. I keep thinking his name's Nick. It's Dylan McMahon out of NC State. And of course, the big three is Jackson Powers Johnson, Zach Frazier, Cedric Van Pran. Van Pran and JPJ are both of my guys. I like Zach Frazier. Wouldn't be mad at him that if we got him. I just don't think he fits the versatility and mobility as much to this scheme as much as Cedric Van Pran does. That's all it is. But Frazier is an absolute dog. And if y'all haven't watched my short yesterday about my top 3 centers for the Carolina Panthers, y'all should go check it out. And I gave you my top 3 wide receivers yesterday as well. Today, I'm going to have my top corners and my top pass rushers come out today. So AJ Brooks, you are sitting on a fine line, my friend. You're sitting on a fine line. There's a fine line that you just don't cross on my channel. And you're right there on the edge. About to be put in timeout. Just kidding. I like to have my boy Mikey from Michigan as our slot corner. Again, I feel you, JP. I think he's a great nickel corner for sure. But I feel like we need an outside guy. I think we need an outside guy. Because if JC goes down, I don't think Mikey helps us as much as like a TJ Tampa would. We definitely need corner. I like looking at better than Polk. I think long term would be easier to sign next contract since he's whole time. Boy, it'd be nice to have a couple more picks 39, 65, and 65, 101. Yeah. Agreed. Trading back is key, especially we have 2 seconds and a deep wide receiver class for sure. Exactly, Clay. I'm not depending on Corbett as a starting center. No way. Yeah, no, me neither. Leggett will take a longer to develop, in my opinion. His route tree has been fairly simple, just an opinion. He does have high upside. Yeah, we would be foolish to bank on Corbett. To me, the way Dan and Dave is talking sounds like Tepper's going to sit back and let them do their job. I mean, that's that. It's funny you say that, Zach, and it hasn't even. Has this crossed anybody else's mind this offseason? Like, I mean, it's crossed my mind this offseason for sure, but has it crossed your mind recently, based off the things we're seeing with this team? I don't know. I don't know if I could trust that statement there, Zach. I don't know if I could trust that statement because I don't know how true that's going to be until it truly actually happens. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know. I just don't know. Guys, make sure you pound that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on new content. All right. Again, so tomorrow, guys, make sure. So tomorrow's Fan Discussion Friday. Fan Discussion Friday. What does that mean? Okay. Fan Discussion Friday. All right. It means you need to join the Discord. You need to join the Discord. So today, make sure you join the Discord. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and invite some people, invite you guys if you're in there. And we're going to do Fan Discussion Friday. Maybe I'll have you guys come on the show tomorrow. Open up, make it like an open mic. And Fan Discussion Friday. So this right here that I'm sharing, this is where you're going to put your questions, topics that you want to discuss. Just make sure you at me like this, at Ropp Report. Make sure you at me like that with your question so I know that I receive it. And if you have more than one question, just put one, question 2, question 3, whatever. And if there's a discussion topic, just say discussion topic, so blah, 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 what you want to talk about. Okay. Don't worry. The stream's not over yet, guys, though, by the way. We got to finish this out as always with a mock draft. Okay. Because we got to keep the streak alive. I feel like it might be good juju. You know what I mean? Might be some good juju. So don't forget about it. Fan discussion Fridays. Fan discussion Fridays tomorrow. Fan discussion Fridays tomorrow. Join the Discord to get your topics or questions answered. Boom. So there you go. Fan discussion Fridays tomorrow. Join the Discord to get your topics or questions answered. And the Discord, I just put it in the chats right here. All right. Another thing, another announcement. Another announcement, by the way. Give me a second. I'm about to share this real quick with you guys. Don't forget, Ropp Starking. We got a mock draft madness. Okay, full swing. 16 content creators. All of them great content creators, by the way, guys. All of these guys are in here. Don't forget to show me some love. Vote for, hit the polls. Let's make some noise. Basically, this is how it's going to work. They're going to put, basically, we all made mock drafts. You're just going to go in and vote who you think had the better mock draft. So make sure you vote for me if you believe mine's the best. I mean, I don't care. It's just for fun anyways. It's a good ego boost. You got, of course, you got 4 of the Panthers fans only. You got Jerry from Meow Mix, 2 Growls, 1 Roar. You got Just Bland, Uncle Quan, Little Rocket, NASA, Ricky Raines, Michael Rimmer's in there. You also got What's Up, Doug, Dunk on Demands on this side. 2 fans in the stands, me, Panthers Culture, JD from 4-Man Rush, Panthers Magpie, Steven from Meow Mix, and I think I got everybody right. So lots of people in here, lots of good guys, lots of good content creators. So show your support just by even just go voting. It's not even it's not a big deal. That's my Saints boy. We might have to bring him on the show. Randall, I mean, apparently the Panthers fans are sorry. The For the Panthers Fans Only podcast, those guys reached out to everyone. So I guess PNP just didn't want to do it. If they didn't want to, I mean, unless they didn't reach out to them, I don't know. Again, Randall, PNP, they do their own thing, man. So, all right, let's get it. Mock draft time. Let's get it. This espresso is kicking in, boy. Damn, boy. This shit's cooking. I can feel it. Yeah, you can't go live yet, call. Unfortunately, YouTube's a different world compared to TikTok. I need to start going live on TikTok. I honestly need to. I got to stop. My loyalty not to be tested to Darius. Come on, man. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I would never test anybody's loyalty. If you're either with me or not, and that's okay. All right. Let's keep it 100. All right, mock draft time. We got to keep the streak alive, man. We got to keep the streak alive. By the way, let me pause this real quick. To that whole thing that we are doing with the For the Panthers Fans Only podcast. This is my mock draft, by the way. This is my mock draft I made. I think it's pretty insane how I was able to get my three favorite guys back to back. Just saying. I was able to get Jackson Powers-Johnson, Xavier Legette, and TJ Tampa. I still think that's insane. So that's the one. That will be the one that I hope can win. I hope can win. We shall see. I don't think it's a bad one. I don't think it's a bad mock draft. That's for sure. I don't know what y'all think. What do y'all think? Y'all think that's a bad mock draft? You might be able to see it better without that zoom. Oh, it's already zoomed in. I don't know what I'm doing then. Not like that. Where's my other edit I had? There it is. I mean, I don't think it's a bad one. Y'all think this is a good one to win? I mean, I think this would be an ideal draft if it actually happened in real life. I mean, the only thing that's crazy to me is that I was somehow able to get Jackson Powers-Johnson, Xavier Legette, and TJ Tampa 3 in a row, which are my three favorite guys. One of my three favorite guys, and I have a lot of other favorites, but and then I was able to get 2 of my sleeper picks. And then Cedric Gray, Cade Stover. I think McKinley Jackson's actually better than what a lot of people think. Nervous. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I got Cedric Gray for very good value there. And I got TJ Tampa for very good value there. Because TJ Tampa is a second-round pick. Because if I don't take him in this pick, it doesn't work out that way. And like PFF. Because this is a total different draft board that I was using. So don't forget to go vote for that. Appreciate everyone joining. Let's get into this mock draft. Damn, son, you always eating good over there. You're always eating good over there, Mr. Marcos. I don't think we'll go. I don't think that will happen, Nervish. I think it's going to be a defensive player, but I mean, I think that people also have to be open-minded. But, excuse me. I'm moving this around way too much. I need to fix this, though. We're going to fix this one. Let's move this like that. That should be good. That should be good right there. Let's move this a little bit over. Hit save. Update. Oh, yeah. There we go. You get the full screen. Well, y'all know where I'm going. Y'all know where I'm going. You're... Holy shit. Damn. Xavier Legette off the board at... Wow. To the New England Patriots right off the rip. Well, I know where I'm going next. I wonder what this one's going to look like without a trade back. Now, I might trade back again here. I might trade back with a 3rd round pick. It just depends. I thought about trading that 39 pick, but Barbecue Pitmaster, nice. They obviously do because they took him right then and there. See who is. I'm not trading with you guys. Yo, let me take that 70 and that 107. Oh, you fuck. All right, yo, Denver. Let me get that 77. That 121 for the 65 and a future. All right, future 4th. All right, future 6. Fuck you. No. Just take that one. What about that? Oh, so future, you'll give me that, but you won't give me a future 4th? That makes no fucking sense. Okay, they do that. They do that. Okay, they do that. Yeah, but that's... I think this is fair. I think that's way more fair than anything. I think that's fair. Damn, Chris Broswell was there. PFF has been nuts lately. Ever since whatever update they've made, things have just been, I felt like, out of whack on this damn thing. Who do I have available at edge? Xavier Thomas, Austin Booker, okay. Linebacker, Jeremiah Trotter, okay. Wide tight end, no. Running back, Trey Benson. Corner might be Kyrie. D-line, what we got? Holy shit, dude. All right, I'm taking Kyrie here. We always finish out of love. We've been on a mock draft streak for a while. I feel like we've actually been on a mock streak draft streak for like ever since the off season started. Kind of curious as to how many mock drafts I've done because I've lost count. All right, we're at 101. Might trade back. All right, what about? No. Be nice. Be nice. Thank you. Be nice. Be nice, PFF. All right. See, look at this. Isaiah Davis, man. He's moving up boards. All right. So we went JPJ, Keon Coleman, Kyrie Jackson, traded back again. I could take another wide out here. I still might. Tight ends available. All right, I might wait. Could take Theo, but I'm not gonna take him now. Running backs, Braylon Allen. Could go ahead and take him now. Could go ahead take him now, which I'm gonna do. Okay, and then I'm gonna take Tavondre Sweat here. Let's see. Now we got the 141, 142, and 153. Oh, man. Let's see what edge defenders I got. Okay, Theo's still there. So I'm going to go ahead and take Theo, get that tight end out the way. Now, who's my edge rusher? Might have to go Nelson Caesar. I might take him. Okay. Okay. This one's pretty solid. I got to make sure. I got to check off what I got here. All right, so got that. So I need a linebacker though. I mean, this is just perfect. Now, let Nelson Caesar be there at 153. Let Nelson Caesar be there. Thank you. Hiya. Another solid mock draft in for the books. I didn't break down every pick because I feel like I've broken down every one of these players that I've picked and given a breakdown on each and every one of them. All right, we're taking Joe Milton. Nah, I'm just kidding. Guy's got a fucking cannon. Whoa. He had 659 yards. Damn. What did you have? 4. And then Hayden Hatton, he had fucking 1,200 yards. Taking my other sleeper, my biggest sleeper of them all, is that kid. According to this, it says I've made 33 so far. A-. I mean, the grading's getting better. JPJ, Keon Coleman, Kyrie Jackson, Braylon Allen, Tavondre Sweat, Theo Johnson, Cedric Gray, Nelson Caesar, Hayden Hatton. There is your mock draft for today. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you pound that like button. Fan discussion Friday tomorrow. Make sure you join the Discord, get your topics in, get your questions in. I will be posting them up on the live stream tomorrow. Maybe I'll even make it an open mic kind of ordered deal. And then of course, get those in and we'll have fun tomorrow. So I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you pound the like button, subscribe. I'm going to go and work on some TikToks for you guys, some shorts and stuff like that. So appreciate everyone joining. as always, guys, y'all know what to do. Y'all keep pounding. Pound that like button, subscribe. Peace.